Hello everybody and welcome back to PGP Motorsports Park for the 8th and last race of the summer/fall season. Well, it's not the race, it's the LCQ. This is the last LCQ. You guys get my phone cam for now. Steven was running late and he is right here. He's gonna be setting up in the background while I handle the LCQ. So a little lighter field today, mainly because it rained overnight and it's pretty cold, and it's only going to get colder as the season, well, physical year season progresses. Anyway, starting out in this LCQ, our top four, which is really hard to tell from this distance, it's Baran on pole, next to Nick in second. They unfortunately didn't have the best heat race, and Baran actually got spun a couple times in the heat race, but he managed to claw his way back up almost to the final. On the second row, we have Cole, and next to Cole is, I can't tell. However, I'm gonna pan it over to the flag bearer, and the flag's waved and they're away. Track is still wet going into turn one. That is Diego in fourth, by the way. So let's see how they can go. There's two lines. You want to either go outside or inside. Those are the lines with the grip. You don't want to be in the middle because you'll spin out like that. Really unfortunate for Cole, who got spun out. He was in the top four, no longer. But we still have plenty of race to go. We still got Baran and Nick side by side into turn one, but the inside doesn't have as much grip as the outside. So Baran gets a great exit out of turn two, followed closely by Kirk. Kirk in third place. He unfortunately got spun in the heat race, so he finds himself in the LCQ, and with a good exit out down the back straight. So we got down the back straight, Baran, Nick, Kirk, and Sam. Those are our top four currently. As, oh no, someone spins. He locks up and spins. Really unfortunate. But that's how treacherous turn four is in these conditions, or the whole track, as we see Kirk dip a tire in the grass. The track is still really slick and it's still pretty cold out, so the grip is very difficult to find. We still have a good top four who are actually getting away from the rest of the pack. Really unfortunate for the rest of the pack. This is the last chance of the season to score points. I guess it truly is the last of the last chance qualifiers. Coming around light bulb they come. Baran still with a decent lead. Try to keep everyone in shot. Ooh, side by side into light bulb. Really treacherous, especially in these conditions. Can these racers make it clean? We're gonna find out. Through double apex, that's where you want to get the power down. But here we see Baran actually forming a gap ahead of the people behind him. And Kirk actually finds his way into second place past Nick as they go down the front straight. We actually get to hear what the new karts sound like from my phone camera. They sound pretty good in my opinion. I think something unfortunate happened to him to get him in the LCQ. Here they come around now. Let's see the rest of everyone in turn four. It's really tricky in these conditions, more so than usual. Turn four is already a tricky corner, but Cole dives down the inside, gets a really good exit, and is gonna make that move. Brilliant move by Cole. Finding the grip and getting the over and under to get past, who is that? Really hard to tell. Good old black helmet, black suit. I'll get you when you come down the front straight. Oh, and there they come. Sam on the inside, but brakes really early because he knows he's not going to have the grip, letting Alex that's not Alex, that's Nick, letting Nick get on the inside, or outside, and give him the position. But can Sam get that momentum down into turn seven? Yes, he can! And Nick takes the spot away in turn seven. That's what I meant about wanting to get that better exit down that little straight between turns 5 and 6. Because if you can get that over-under, it can really work for you for an overtake in turn 7, as we see someone spin in turn 7, and that causes a chain reaction to avoid him. Oh no! Really unfortunate. It's really tricky to take turn 7. It's very slick and cambered, as you can see with the angle there. So it's difficult in these slick, tricky conditions. The track, it rained overnight, the track is wet, it's cold, so the track's not exactly drying up. But we get to see a good battle into turn 4, braking really late. Can he go around the outside? Doesn't seem like it. So we got Diego ahead of Trevor. That's the battle that's going on here. Trevor on the inside of turn 7. Oh, contact! No! He lost the grip, and he slows down to let him by, because that's true sportsmanship right there. You love to see it. They're battling each other, and now the battle can resume. Speaking of battles, we got Baran waving to the camera. You love to see it. We love to see repeats as we have a side-by-side battle going into turn 1. We got Diego on the inside and Trevor on the outside. Diego taking the outside line, but it's a bit too late. Or is it? Diego covers off the inside. Can Trevor find a way around the outside? We're about to find out. Diego's still keeping that track position. But it looks like Diego is able to hold his position. So that battle in the back has resumed. And honestly, unless I see something crazier happen in front, this is where the action is on track. We got Trevor seeing if he can make a move on the inside. This could be really dicey, and he backs out of it because he knows there's not much grip on the inside. But Diego leaves the space. They're gonna go side by side in here. Coming out, can Trevor get the over-under? He squeezes his way on the inside, and into turn 7 they go. Trevor has a deep inside line. There's not much grip there, meaning Diego can get the over-under. Can he take advantage of that grip? It doesn't seem like it. Or can he? They're going back and forth. This is the glory of wet track racing. I'm going to say it, suboptimally. Both of these racers, they don't have the experience as the front runners do in these wet conditions, because the front runners have been racing out here for years. So Trevor and Diego out here demonstrating how fun it is to race in these conditions. Kirk is normally a finalist out here, and you can see the gap between Baran coming out the front straight now, and Kirk and Sam coming out roller coaster. We got Sam on the inside, Kirk on the outside. Sam in the black, Kirk in the white. Brilliant shot as they come side by side into turn 1. Sam has that inside line, but there's not much grip down the middle line, letting Kirk. Can Kirk capitalize on that momentum? They squeeze each other. The track might be drying a little bit. Kirk getting a little squibbly, but he gets that inside line, closes the door. Can Sam get on the inside and get the power down? No, he can't. So Kirk manages to get second place away from Sam. As they go down turn 3, and now it becomes the momentum battle. Sam going down dive on turn 7. Can Kirk get that over-under? Kirk's gonna have significant momentum going around the outside because Sam's compromised, but Sam closes the door. Kirk gonna force the issue anyway and gets past him before bus stop. Brilliantly played by Kirk to keep that momentum, because Kirk has the experience to know that if he keeps his momentum, he sees Sam defending, but he'll be able to, as long as Kirk keeps that momentum and commits, he'll be able to pass him by bus stop, which is exactly what was on display there. Brilliant defense from Sam, but brilliant calculated experience from Kirk. And we're entering the late stages of the race. Ooh, we got Cole caught up to Nick. Oh, this is for position. This is for the final. Fourth place is under contention as Cole gets his way past Nick. That drops Nick out of the final, and that puts Cole in the final. That was for 4th place. Cole, out of nowhere, catches up to Nick. I bet he caught Nick sleeping. Nick thought he was fine. In fact, Nick was not fine. So now it's up to Nick in these closing stages of the race to catch back up to Cole to reclaim that position in the final. Otherwise, this will be the end for Nick. Nick, who was having a pretty good day, but Cole having a better day, it seems. Can Sam make a move near the end of the track? You don't want to make a move here because that's just going to compromise you and you're not going to win. You got to wait until the moment is right. So light bulb isn't the best place to do it. And Sam goes on the inside of light bulb. Not the best place to do it, but he gets in front. However, he has no momentum and he just loses it right back to Kirk. Unfortunate. He pulled the trigger too early, but he still has the momentum to take a move down the front straight. They are side by side in roller coaster. Baran comes down to win, but who's gonna get the best out of the roller coaster? Oh, Kirk's not happy. Kirk really wants that momentum, but it is Sam who gets the better momentum and takes second place away from Kirk. And in 4th place going into the final is Cole Sheriff. who will be advancing to the final. Unfortunate for Nick, who comes in 5th, but brilliant display from everyone on track, and we will see you for the final of the summer-fall season.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the final of the fall season 2024. We're in the final race. We've had our LCQ, we have our full 24 grid, and this is their last 20-minute race to score the points to get to the highest point possible on the championship podium. So here they are gridding up for their rolling start.
And in that grid, we got starting on pole position is going to, well, I think that's Steven actually on pole. Yeah, StevenBallard is on pole, and next to him is our current championship leader, Palau Patini, who has almost clinched the championship. So Palau still has to place decent in this race in order to win the championship. But Steven is in one of the 2nd through 6th place members, I believe, who are all separated by fine margins. So this championship race, it's all going to come down to this for many of these races. In 3rd is Alex Seguin, and in 4th is good old black helmet gray suit. We'll get his name because we got the trackers up. We got the setup. So here we go. Oh, that's William Yee in 4th. Nice. No, it's not. But the flag's waved, and they're away. I'll get those names for you when they get up. I had like no time to prepare for this. But these racers had all season to prepare for this. Palau going around the outside, Steven on the inside. Paul's going to have that inside. They're side by side going into 2. Palau jerks it around and gets a great entry into 2. But the grip's not there, but the momentum is there. Palau takes the lead away from Steven. And that lets William, actual William this time, get into the 3rd. And Alex on the inside is not going to try to take 3rd away from William. Alex again on the inside in the red race suit. Not much grip on the inside of turn 3. They're too wide through 3. Really sketchy. But Alex manages to keep that momentum through turn 3. In the meantime, William E. on the outside, that's Spencer right behind the 2 pairs. William gets spun! No, there was no contact. William spins himself. He overcooked it, and there's disaster in turn 4. William Yee, one of the championship contenders, drops from 3rd place to the back. You hate to see it, but we still have a ferocious battle for the lead. In the lead, we got Palau still in 1st, followed very closely by StevenBallard in 2nd.
It looks like we had someone else spin out near the back. Is that Sebastian or is that Todd?
I will, fortunately it wasn't Todd. Todd did not have a good heat race, but Todd's still in the mix. I recognize Todd's helmet. He's still in the thick of things. Todd is actually in contention for 3rd place in the championship, but given where he is now, he's going to have a lot of work to get there.
Yeah. For those confused as to why there's a lot of chaos going on, it was mentioned in the LCQ. We got a very slick track today, drying conditions. It isn't actively raining, but it is still wet out there. People are on slick tires, and it's very hard to keep in control of these karts.
Speaking of kart control, things are starting to line up. In 3rd place, we have Alex Seguin, and in 4th place, Davidson Man. 5th place is Sebastian. 6th is the Rainmeister himself. Brilliant racecraft. Now that they crossed the line, let's get those standings up. Woo, there they are.
There are 2 distinct racing lines being shown here.
So in 7th is Ethan. Really good display from him. Spencer, one of the championship contenders, all the way down in 8th. Oh wow, Spencer and Sergey, actually. They're all the way down there. They're championship contenders as well. Really unfortunate for Spencer. Spencer trying to get a championship off Palau, but the way things stand now, doesn't look very likely. There's a lot of work to do. Fortunately, we're still in the early stages of the race.
And Palau and Steven are just running away with it, showing mastery over their control of the karts in slick conditions already early on. And we just have these bubbles going on.
Brilliant little slip by Sebastian to get past Alex, and Scott Miller, the Rainmeister, also capitalizes on this, demonstrating his prowess on these slick track conditions. Slips by Alex again. That was perfectly calculated from Scott. I don't think anyone else out here other than Palau could have made that move.
We have another spin that happened. 2 people caught out in the back here. It's just really hard to do the racing that these people want to do when the track is as slick as this. You just get no grip on that inside line.
You see, when you're in the pack, it's really easy to slip, but when you're in the back, it doesn't matter as much if you slip. Oh, I spoke too soon. That is Baran out outside the top of the world. Big water splash. Before every race, I tell Baran he'll put on a show. There's the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel my heart goes out to you, Baran. Really unfortunate. But the rest of the racers are coming down, crossing the line. A bit of news, actually. Sergey forced his way into a good heat race, but was penalized, which is why he's so far behind in the standings right now. So Sergey has a lot of work to catch up, which is unfortunate. Also unfortunate is Todd right behind Sergey. Those two are all familiar with on-track battles, so that rivalry is going to heat up once more. Hopefully it heats up to dry the track a bit, because this track is slick as snot, as we see. Lots of, I call it squibbly driving, where the rear end just slips away from you, and you got to keep the kart under control. These are brand new karts, so not everyone is acclimated to how the new karts handle. So it all comes down to how adaptable you are as a driver in these crazy, tricky conditions.
Oh, it looks like
Nick. Oh no! Once again, in turn 4, such a tricky corner.
And Baran gets an overtake.
That's unfortunate. Nick, who, yeah, that was, wait, Nick got in the final? Oh, okay. I didn't realize Nick got in the final. Congratulations, Nick, you're in the final.
Maybe
I thought he didn't.
Maybe there was a penalty or something.
Possibly a penalty somewhere, yeah. Oh, well. But in any case, back to the race. Let's see what kind of battles there are on track. There's plenty of them. Palau getting away with it. And
Steven following closely behind.
Kind of closely behind. We got Steven. Steven, yeah, waving to the camera, but he waved to me. You didn't get it, but I got it. So Steven kindly put on his his GoPro mount, because the mount makes it very distinguishable who he is on track. Even though his GoPro is dead, he put it on for recognition purposes, and I recognize him. I love it when the racers just wave down the front straight at the camera. You love to see it. They're all out having a good time. Because there's some people... Oh, 3 wide into turn 2. Woo! Glad you caught that. Sergey ahead. No! Sergey gets that... Well, no to Todd, who got the worst of that, actually. Todd's fighting for 3rd place in the championship, but he's fighting all the karts around him. And this isn't exactly helping his championship. But Sergey manages to get by Spencer. And Spencer manages to get by Todd. So Todd, the worst of that squabble there, which is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, lots of interesting battles going on. People just throwing it around sideways. Manny gets huge momentum, and then someone falls off the track. And unfortunately, Manny goes right into the back of him there, and the Menacing Minions helmet dives up on the inside. Takes the position from Manny, but will Manny have the momentum around the outside to get right past him? He's a little bit compromised, and Manny loses out the most on that.
Yeah, very treacherous conditions. It's really easy. Like I said in the LCQ, it's very easy to get a tire or the whole cart off into the grass between turns 5 and 6.
Yep. Yeah.
And sometimes the space just isn't there and you get run wide through no one's fault because everybody's drifting out wide. And if you're on the outside of that wide, you may have the best momentum, but that momentum's not going to carry you very far if you're in the grass. We got a good battle for 3rd here, with Davidson right ahead of Sebastian. Let me pull those gaps up so you see just how close everyone is as they cross the line. This race still has a lot to play for.
Yeah, it does. With 24 karts on the track, the top 2 podium positions of the race are already taken up by Palau and Steven as they just carve out huge gaps between them. But that battle for 3rd place is still brewing.
Davidson's still ahead of Sebastian going into turn 4, and they're going to keep it that way. Sebastian braking perfectly, actually. Brilliant brake work by Sebastian to get right on the rear bumper of Davidson without actually contacting him. That takes skill and discipline and understanding of the driver in front. Brilliant racecraft on display by Sebastian, demonstrating why he's a championship contender and a race winner around these parts. I mean, to be fair, Davidson also a race winner around these parts. I think Davidson also won the championship, or was one of the championship contenders with Pro-Am back when the regulations were different. But these two, no strangers to racing each other out here on track. As you can see, the brilliant racecraft between them. They leave the space, but they leave just the right perfect margins for each other.
Yeah, it's awesome. And like everyone in this like top 5 or so are race winners. It's been a very interesting season.
Do you have to keep saying interesting for everything?
What?
I like to joke that the word interesting is the most common word to describe things when commentating or giving any sort of commentary. It's a running joke between me and my friends. Don't worry about it.
We've had a very compelling season this fall season.
Really? Okay. So the positions have mostly died down. We're not getting any intense battles yet. This is the calm before the storm. This is actually normal in racecraft, where a lot of the battling just kind of settles down a little bit, but the tension's still there. As we see, who is that? Really hard to tell. Is that Randy on David, I believe, going into turn 3. Yeah, you got him on camera. And in front of them is Todd on Spencer. They're in kind of damage control mode. Really unfortunate that Spencer doesn't seem to be on the pace today. But everybody's going to converge into turn 4. Todd on the inside, but that's not where the momentum is. But can Todd get the over-under? We're about to find out. Spencer, he leaves the door open. Todd's going to have a foot in the door.
No matter what,
and he's going to go for it to turn 7. Todd on the inside of turn 7, but Spencer's going to have the better momentum. But Todd still insists on taking those inside lines to get ahead. Can he get ahead? They're side by side. Oh, come on. And Todd manages to squeak by Spencer in bus stop. Passing in bus stop in the wet. I gotta say, that takes guts. And Todd sent it, and he made it work. That was high risk, high reward from Todd. Brilliant kart control from both Todd and Spencer to keep it on track through bus stop in these slick conditions. That is one of the hardest places to overtake in the wet. That's still a somewhat viable-ish place to overtake. But now it's up to Todd to see if he can catch up to Sergey. Because let me pull those gaps up now. Oh, man.
Yeah, Todd building up that gap. He definitely had the pace here.
Let me actually pull up the lap times to see just how much, how different everybody's lapping here. As you can see with the lap time counts themselves, a dry lap around here is like a minute 19. So you can see that because the best laps are not close to a minute 19, they are, that the track is still really wet. It's a very slick track out here. Very difficult to race it.
Yeah, with how cold and cloudy it is, it's going to take a long time for it to dry up, even with the heat of the tires racing against them.
Yeah, keeping those tires in a good operating temperature, it's slightly easier to do on a day like today where it's easy to cool them down. But, the weather forecast said it's not supposed to rain anymore until this afternoon, so the track's not going to get any worse. Or at least it shouldn't. Fingers crossed.
Well, huge momentum difference I see going into turn...
Woo, that is Sam making a move on turn 7. But can the other racer get the over-under?
He just had so much speed difference right there. He's able to put his car in the right place, the momentum gets transferred, and that position is secured.
I'm going to pull up the gaps, because Paulo's crossing the line now, and Spencer will be crossing the line soon. This is just to demonstrate just how crazy of a lead Paulo has gapped the field. One thing worth noting, a bit of foreshadowing, we're going to have I'd say one of the only people who was able to consistently challenge Paulo to the championship is making a return next season. So be sure to subscribe to stay informed of the next season, because next season is going to be the return of maybe the king. One of the only racers that could challenge Paulo consistently to the championship is going to be another Verstappen-Hamilton situation, I'll tell you what. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it sounds like a really exciting season coming up.
All right, it looks like Spencer got ahead of Todd. Unfortunate for Todd. Very fortunate for Spencer. Spencer in full damage control. Oh, man. Now everybody's converging together. That is Spencer, Todd, Randy, and I think David. But David tipped a tire in the grass. So easy to tip a tire in the grass and just lose that momentum you worked so hard to gain. But yeah, Spencer making that move, that just puts Todd that much further down in the championship, which is really unfortunate for Todd because his championship rivals, I believe, are ahead of him, and that always hurts.
Yep. And he's in the battle right now.
That battle is Spencer, Todd, Randy, and David. Those are the four that you were...
And then it looks like there's still a battle somewhat for third place.
Yeah, ish. No, not really. There's a battle. That is a battle for sixth place. We got Alex Sagian and Sergei Kostov. These two are really close friends. They always carpool with each other. They've been doing this racing for many years. And I do mean many years. I've known them. They've been experienced racers since the first day I came here back in 2019. So they are no strangers to battling on track.
And as you were saying that, Sergei took a dive up on the inside and was able to claim the position from Alex, and now he's past him and is looking to build up that gap once again.
Yeah, that friendly rivalry they've got going on there on display. They leave each other's space, but they keep the battles intense. And that's what we saw there. Sergei just making it work. And Alex now is going to make a decision. Does he want to try to battle Sergei, or does he want to try to push Sergei ahead and try to get Scott, who's up ahead? Ooh, battle into fourth. Or battle into turn 4. Alrighty, sun's coming out, so the track may dry a bit more. Spencer covering the inside. Todd, not quite with the momentum to get him to move on to turn 7, but he goes for it anyways! Todd's going to try to make that move work again, and he gets a better exit than he did last time, cementing his space in front of Spencer, who then, Spencer does the same move on Todd that Todd did to him, and makes that move in the bus stop, giving Todd a taste of his own medicine.
This has been an awesome battle between these two.
Very healthy battle. Todd recognized this, and he made sure to leave space. So, brilliant racecraft being shown by both Spencer and Todd here. And Randy and David are getting a front row seat to all this crazy battling.
It really shows just how much momentum you lose when you're on that slippery line right there.
Whew.
With that slippery line, you just lose all your speed, and you have to be focusing on the defensive and hoping that the person you pass transfers the momentum back to you in order to secure it.
Worth noting, the sun has come out. So the track will begin drying slightly faster. We may see some different opportune lines later down the race. Because, well, actually, never mind. We're entering the closing stages of the race. We got side-by-side into turn 1. We got Manny on the inside, Cole on the outside.
They both fall
and Manny still sticks it on the inside. Cole going to get better momentum down the outside. Can he use that momentum into turn 2? No, and that kind of pushes Sam. Sam trying to get on the outside, but there wasn't any room. I don't think Cole realized just how close Sam was, but they're going to keep it there for now. Back to turn 4, where all the crazy battling is. Spencer goes a little bit wide into turn 4. But he closes the door and keeps that door slammed shut just long enough that Todd can't capitalize on Spencer's mistake. Really frustrating for Todd, because if Todd could just get his foot in the door, he knows he could have made that move.
On the inside into turn 8 right there, but of course there's just not enough momentum, so it's just an alternate racing line.
Yeah, it's so difficult to pass in these conditions, especially when the person in front of you knows how to damage mitigate any mistake they make like that. Brilliant defense from Spencer there, demonstrating why he's a championship contender. But unfortunately, he's kind of far back to get anything good out of this race. He's in damage control mode, and controlling damage he is. White flag is out, by the way.
So entering the last stage of the race, looks like someone makes a little mistake and goes onto the grass out there.
Unfortunate for Nick.
Safely. Let's transition over to our leaders.
I pulled up the gaps so you can see just how far the gaps are between everyone. But we have a three-way squabble into turn 1. That's Randy taking the inside line, seeing if he can make any moves work. Todd on the outside with the momentum, power sliding, getting the inside of 2, but it's compromised. There's no grip on the inside of turn 2. And David overcooks it into the barriers. No!
So much happened in that sequence of corners right there.
No grip. No grip at all. David overcooked it. He thought he had the grip, but unfortunately he lost everything. You hate to see it.
David's still stuck there.
That said, in all that chaos, Randy did get by Todd. Todd drops back another position. The white flag's still out. And Paulo's actually rounding light bulb now. It doesn't look like there's any battles going on in the current track now. They've all settled for the most part.
Yep, and so here's Palau with his dominant lead, knowing that he understands, showing his knowledge of the slick track, rounding out of roller coaster, coming down the pit straight
Perfection.
to claim this race lead and championship lead of the 2024 fall season.
Masterclass by Palau. But the race ain't over yet. Waving to the camera that you did not get, it's Steven coming in second. And in third place to round the podium is Sebastian. Brilliantly raced by everyone today.
And here comes the Rainmeister.
At that podium ceremony where we will reveal not just the leaders, but also the championship standings. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to keep up with next season as well.
First of all, thank you guys all for coming down this season. We had a lot of tight battles out there. From, looks like, second place all the way down to ninth was only spread by 200 points, which is fairly tight for one of these races. And it really did come down to the final one for the top 3 spots. Well, 2 of the top 3 spots. Anyways, coming in third place today with a best lap time of a 103.373, finishing 14.5 off the lead. We have Sebastian. Coming in second place out there with a best lap time of a 103.375, only 11.3 off the leader. We got Steven Barrett.
Good job, Steven.
Only 11.3. And taking the top spot out there with the best lap time of a 102.747. Just putting on cruise control by then. First place, Palau Patini.
Good job, Palau.
Moving on to the championship podium. I'm going to start off with the fastest lap of the season with a 77.706 to one Davidson man. Nice job out there, man.
Wow, nice.
And moving on to the podium with 1,142 points, finishing on the podium 3 times, 6 top 10s, and 3 pole positions, finishing 7 of the race, getting into 7 of the mains. We have for third place, Steven Barrett.
Good job, Steven.
Almost got the best lap of the season as well, 77.847. Coming in second place with a grand total of 1,180 points. He had 7 main events as well because he only showed up for 7 races. 1 win out there. 3 podiums, 7 top 10s, and a best lap of the season of a 78.089. Coming in second place. We got Sebastian! Woo!
Yeah, good job, Finn.
And taking that top spot. 8 main events, 4 wins, 6 podiums, top 10 in every session, or every race, 2 pole positions, and 4 fastest laps of the season. With the best lap time of a 77.849 throughout the season. First place with 1,360 points, Palau Patini.
Yeah. Good job.